Alrighty tighty folks, I was gonna wait until the trash man went, but my description lied. First snow of the season. Proper snow, not 3 flakes and it melts. First snow of the season. I know you can't see it because it's all blown out. Wonder if we could fix that. The camera's kind of half buried. I want to try to juggle myself around back there. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. What I need to do today is, I guess, clean up the garagie. Mostly, the stuff that needs cleaning up is that Ross on the floor and the tools. Oh. I was gonna run by a tire shop before I started streaming, if I started streaming today. I forgot to do that. Guess I could do it tomorrow. Because I won't have access to the Pilot until Saturday anyway. And I won't need the bead buster there. My roommate actually had a pretty good idea. Said, grab a tire and chop some chunks out of it. There you go, rubber thing for the base. Not a bad idea. Glad I thought of it. I'll probably end up painting it at some point. Got to be clean to do that, and it is not currently clean at all. I also need to put these totes back where they're supposed to go. Toolbox back where it's supposed to go. Oh, that one's done. Alright, I'm done for the day. Did one thing. I'm going to bed. Oh. I think I have one last monster. I'll do a check. I've got me a monster. See if this brings me out of my melancholiness. I really need a bigger ground cable for this thing. Little I don't know, 6-gauge guy, looks like. Could be 8 in welding cable. A little bit larger than I expect to see an 8-gauge. But what I expect to see an 8-gauge is Chinese knockoff equipment anyway, so, you know. Perhaps that is truly no 8-gauge. You wanna know what's really funny? Not that. That's not funny. Really funny. I just took the firewall section over to storage because I didn't really have a whole lot of materials, like scrap steel or whatever. And I just kind of need to go drop by the steel supply place every week or so. Now that I have the time to do so, I can do so. But I need to drop by there every week or so, check and see what they've got in the scrap bin, so I can start making bracketry for the electric steering system. Not light. Because, as Colin mentioned before, and thought the Civic was down. I don't know that I've ever mentioned it to anybody other than my roommates. But when I do stuff to the Civic, I make sure the job is one that I can complete in a day or two. I don't do like I did with this guy where I kind of make it up on the go on the Civic, because it is, I consider it my primary vehicle, even though it is the project car. And as such, it needs to be, you know, it's my most reliable vehicle. Mostly because everything on it's brand new. You might not know it from looking at the backside, and you might not know it from looking at the top side. But everything on that car, I think the engine's got less than 50,000 miles on it. The transmission's got 15,000 less than that. And I'm not one of them schmoes that when they say stuff like, oh, this engine's got 30,000 miles on it, what they really mean is they replaced a head gasket 30,000 miles ago, or they replaced a head 30,000 miles ago. It's not that. Remember, folks, I'm not dumb. People that do stuff like that, they're either evil or dumb. I would claim that all evil is a direct result of dumb. You don't have to be unintelligent to be dumb. We should dispel that right now. You can be intelligent and dumb. And while a lot of times I will joke around and I'll say I'm the dumbest smart guy you'll ever meet, I'm not dumb. So I guess we could break it down into, you have intelligence, which is processing power. You then have smartness, which is effectively knowledge. Okay, knowledge is raw information stored in your head. Intelligence is the ability to take that information and make something new out of it, or see it in a different way and process that information. What intelligence is. Smartness is the ability to take that new information that you've created, or that new processing that you've done, and apply it. So smartness is application of intelligence. Intelligence is the ability to manipulate information, and knowledge is just raw information. Right? I am very highly intelligent. I possess a great deal of knowledge about a particular subset of information. And I'm really not dumb. I'm very, very not dumb. I'm quite smart. I can apply the information. So, case in point, right? I was like, okay, how do you make a bead breaker? The bead breakers that I've interacted with in the past were air powered, and it was just an arm with a button for a ram that would push a foot into the tire, pull it off the bead. Easy peasy. I was like, okay, well, obviously I'm not doing it sideways. That'd be pulling the wheel up and kind of balancing it there for a second while you bring the arm. That'd just be annoying, and the machine would kind of be bigger than you really want it to be. I was like, so what other ways are there? I was like, well, why don't I look up and see if there's a simple method of doing this job. So I looked around and I found pretty much two versions. One is the one that I built that I was thinking about building anyway. It was the one that was just kind of like, this would be probably the easiest thing to build myself, was a lever actuated arm with a foot of some kind on it. I guess it's a lever actuated leg with a foot on it of some kind. The other version is like, I don't know, it's kind of like a pickle fork, or not a pickle fork, a ball joint removal tool. It's just, you stick something in there, you tighten it down, and it pushes one thing one way and the other thing against the rim. The rim's harder than the tire, obviously. I was like, could I make that? Yes. Would I use it? Probably not. So I decided to make the slightly bigger, but very possibly more effective. It's not straight, it's not great, it's not amazing, because I'm still learning the information that I will need to do fabrication. But it's a thing. Stick me against an average person with no education, no background, like me, no background in fabrication, aside from hanging out a couple of times at a buddy's shop, and that was just because he needed extra muscle to carry stuff. Like, there was no training involved. No teaching, there's no training. Only what I observed, and none of that was any of this. Could I have built the forks better? Absolutely. Absolutely could have and should have built the forks better for the two rotational axes. Was I going to spend the time to learn how to do it right now with this job? No. We're getting snow kind of early this year, though. October. A little bit earlier than I expected it. Expected another, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, middle of November, before we got first snow. But we are kind of up higher in the mountains, so what are we at, 4,500 feet? Not quite Sierra Vista, Arizona altitude, but pretty high up, so it kind of makes sense. Oh, and it's a dry snow. It's hitting the ground and rolling along. I'm not sure quite exactly what that means for higher altitude conditions. Dry snow. So dry snow I think dry snow means it's higher altitude snow. The water freezes, but it doesn't always freeze all the way. And when you make a snowflake, it doesn't always freeze all the way. Sometimes you have molecules of water that are not frozen, right? Lower altitudes, it'll still be wet at higher altitudes. It has time as it's falling to evaporate the unfrozen water. Does that make sense? Is that how that works? Oh. Yeah. I don't know. Nor do I really particularly care all that much. Slightly interesting, not necessarily fascinating. So I've got this square tube. I've got this bigger square tube. I don't think what I kind of need is a larger tubing bender. Big kind with a wheel. I guess I could build one, couldn't I? What would that take? You need something threaded that you can adjust clamping force. You need 3 rollers that are adjustable. You can adjust the radius. Do the rollers need to be changeable though? Do you need different diameter rollers? Half-inch OD? No, I want like 2-inch OD. Maybe it's not called a tubing bender. The tubing benders are just a bottle jack with some rollers. You're just cranking it and then letting it loose, cranking it, letting it loose. Like I did with that foot. I can do that with the press, essentially. Ooh! I could make an adapter, turn that into a tubing bender. That'd be easy. Now what I need, what is that thing called? Yeah, because a tubing bender, you have different dies for different OD dimensions and different radii. That's not what I need. I need the thing with the big wheel on it. Not an English wheel. An English wheel is for creating curves, and technically you could use it as a bead roller. What the heck is that thing called? Tube roller? Yeah, tube roller. Okay. $250. It doesn't even have a stand. Okay, so yeah, it has dies also. What? Oh, they have a tubing notcher. That'd be cool. Looks like it's only for small tube though. Less cool. You adjust the... It looks like it just clamps to the main arm of your drill press. Or maybe it just bolts to the base. Base plate. But I'm not seeing how you can adjust the point on the tube. Because what if you don't need a straight in the center type of thing? What if you need some percentage? I don't see any adjustment for that. I see an up and down. I could probably build something like that. What I need, is I need a drill press. This job would have been faster, one, so much faster. It wouldn't have been 12 hours, it would have been 7 hours. It could have cut the job almost in half. Because most of the time I spent was actually cutting those freaking holes. What I need is, how much is a drill press in Harbor Freight? I can get whatever and just make it better. But I need a drill press. I have a benchtop one for $100. I'd rather have a floor stand guy, honestly. I've got a mill for $800. 2-speed mill. If I were gonna buy a mill, it'd be from like a closing machine shop or something. $400 for a kind of a cheapy guy. $700 for the next step up. You got a little bitty guy for $220. The job that I needed it for is over and done with. But it would make doing tabs and things really, really easy. Especially doing tabs and things. Tell you what, we duct tape the Milwaukee to the press, and then we just you have a string, and you pull the string to start the drills. I'm not doing that. I am doing specifically not that. I am specifically not doing that. Bikey bike's gonna go outside. Well, Trankety bike is gonna go outside for the time being. We're gonna clean up le steel. Oh, that's something I can do today too, actually. If I get around to feeling like it. I was gonna use some of this little tiny rod that I've got, but I was gonna make a little stand to hold all of my filament, PLA and ABS and what have you. But as wet as it is here, it's not crazy dry. There is more moisture here overall, on average, throughout the year than there is in Las Vegas or southern Arizona. So filaments will absorb the moisture less than ideal. So I gotta keep them in a dry box. And the box that I have all of my filaments stored in right now is not really a dry box. It doesn't seal. It's not really sealed. It has a seal on it, but there is no seal to it because to make a seal you have to have clamp pressure, and I have no clamp pressure. I can set things on top of it, but then it kind of deforms the lid and deforms the seal anyway. So it's like, it allows less moisture into the box than the box did without the seal. I have thought about sticking a little heater in it from time to time, but stick the filaments in a dryer or in the oven until they're good to go. Did that with the ABS, and so I stuck 4 or 5 spools of filament in the oven, set it at the lowest temperature, and I guess the way I put them in there was a bit wrong. There was some stacked on top of some others, and I didn't put them low enough. So there were the 2 spools at the highest point. I guess they were too close to the heating element. So when it turned on, that plastic of the spool would get too hot, and it warped the crap out of it. So now the ABS and one other, I don't remember which one, some other spool have really ugly spools. Squeak. That's okay, it's fine. It still comes off the spool through the printer. I think the problem with the printer is I need to order connectors and the crimper and just some wiring, some itty bitty wiring. I don't have wiring that small. And make new connectors and wiring connections. I think the temperature sensors, both of them, because I've seen T0 and T1 pop up, I think the printer keeps stopping because it's losing connection to the temperature sensors on the hot end of the bed. Pretty sure that's what's going on. So I need to do something about that. I said I didn't want to climb around behind the camera, and here I am putting stuff in the thing behind the camera. It's fine. You guys know what snow looks like. If you don't, Google it. Think that's kind of rude? Fight me. rattling bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Prairie bog and rattling bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. Prairie twig and rattling twig, twig and the branch and the limb and the bough and the tree and the tree and the hole in the bog down in the valley, oh. Prairie bog and the rattling bog in the bog down in the valley, oh. There was a nest. There was a nest, rare nest and a rattling nest, the nest and the leaf and the leaf and the twig and the twig and the branch and the branch and the limb and the limb and the bough and the bough and the tree and the hole and the bog down in the valley, oh. Prairie bog and the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. Yes, there was an egg, bird and the nest and the leaf. Oh, roll the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog and the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. The one breath rule. And in that bird there was an egg. The rattling egg, the egg and the bird and the nest and the nest and the leaf and the leaf and the twig and the branch and the limb and the bough and the tree and the hole and the bog down in the valley. If I'm standing, I can't do it. I gotta sit down to do it. One breath. It's rough. Of course, I breathe at the wrong time too. I took the breath too early. Oh, roll the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog and the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. Rare chicken, rattling chick, the chick and the yolk and the egg and the bird and the nest and the leaf and the twig and the twig and the branch and the limb on the bough and the tree and the hole in the bog in the valley. Oh, roll the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog and rattling bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. The twig and the branch and the limb on the bough and the tree, hole in the bog down in the valley, oh. Bog down in the valley, oh. Rare bog and the bog down in the valley, yo. Rare feather and a rattling feather, the feather and the wing of the chick and the yolk and the egg and the bird and the nest and the leaf and the twig. Branch and the limb and the bough and the tree and the hole and the bog down in the valley, yo. Oh, roll the rattling bog down in the valley, yo. Rare bog and rattling bog down in the valley, yo. Rare flea and a rattling flea, the flea and the feather and the wing, the chick and the yolk and the egg and the bird and the nest and the leaf and the twig and the branch and the limb and the bough, the tree and the hole in the bog down in the valley, yo. Oh, roll the rattling bog down in the valley, yo. Rare bog and rattling bog and the bog down in the valley, yo. Rare eye and a rattling eye, the eye and the flea and the feather and the wing and the chick and the yolk and the egg and the bird and the nest and the leaf and the limb and the bough, the tree and the hole in the bog down in the valley, yo. What's in here? This was water. I'm going to turn this jug into an oil receptacle. All these empty oil bottles, they got just the smoochest little bits of oil in them. we'll start collecting those. Just let that guy drip for a few hours. The branch, the limb, the bough, the tree, the hole in the bog down in the valley. Oh. Need to clean that tool up really good so I can give him a paint. The hems don't corrode like a crazy. Faz. Paquetá? Paquetá, yeah. Probably pocket diet. Huh? No pocket time? Ratchet strap and pickup, bro. Just, I mean, the brakes on a bike aren't reliant on the engine running to work, so you have full brakes. And then, you know, just make sure when you start moving, you take the slack out of the ratchet strap. It'd be like towing a car, just on a bike. I mean, it's, so do you want to go with OEM fitment, or do you want to try the, just the Joe Riley's type? The Joe Riley's type I can get in 15 minutes. I can have them bring it over to me even. And then the OEM fitment is guaranteed, well, I'd say guaranteed, is most likely to just fit right on. No wiring mods, no bracket mods, no nothing. Plug and play. I mean, just make sure you maintain your friendship with me. Don't piss me off too much, and I'll always be there to fix it for you. That's, I mean, that's my format for life. Is I make sure that my friends always need me to fix their broken stuff, and they'll always be my friends. Ah, that's the meta game right there. I'll look up. Well, I can't order it if it's not on eBay. No, Amazon. Oh, if I can't find it on eBay, I know there's some on Amazon. That like right now. I wasn't even going to stream today, but I got up and I came out here and I turned it on, and now I'm just cleaning up the garage. Yeah, I got up and looked out the back door and I saw 3 little snowflakes and they melted. But it was just properly snowing here a minute ago. Of course, it's so early. It was dry snow. Bodes well for the season. I think it's going to be a pretty mild season. It is a little bit earlier than I was expecting. I was expecting another 2 or 3 weeks. But I guess it's 2 or 3 weeks before it sticks to the ground. Jeff, that if you've had any problems and you know a guy that can help, and here's his consultation fee. I'll charge him $100 an hour. So like just to deal with you people. All right, I'll finish cleaning up and then I'll look up the. I should see if my instructor's still working. Manager or something, but like, hey, you guys should evaluate your relationship with this. Nice. They come in a little package. You should be able to go to the front desk, get one. Behind that. Rework all that stuff on? You guys know at least what it's called. I mean, just go back and ask the guy in inventory, be like, hey, I need one of these. They have to that one. I can talk to the guy in inventory, and it's like, yeah, you don't need to order it, you just need to come back, it's over here on the shelf. Yeah, if anybody would know, Bridget would probably know what it's called. Alright, I'll go look up. As soon as I'm done cleaning up here, I'll go look up the pump. Boy. There we go. Like, come on, fall, fall, fall. Do the thing. So I'm done cleaning up. We'll look up the fuel pump for the roommate's Bidley bike. I'm gonna roll this kind of out of the way-ish. Then I'm gonna go piddly poddly. I shall be back in just a minute or so. Oh. I'll be back in a minute. y'all. Still feeling kind of lazy. To the guys at Phoenix that designed this C7 flashlight, nobody uses a freaking lanyard. You don't need this lip here. Do not put an internal ridge near a magnet for people who are going to be using this in a shop. Now that whole freaking thing is just filled with metal shavings. Come on, guys. Use your brains. Think about what you're doing. Because it's exactly what every technician wants. What every mechanic, what every fabricator wants from a flashlight. To store a bunch of metal shavings. Humans. Humans. You know, my most recent job, the last job that I had most recently, was in a manufacturing facility. This manufacturing facility was low scale, specialty stuff, prototyping stuff. I've mentioned it before. Getting real tired of this congestion every morning. Anyway, manufacturing environment. When I got there, there were 3 or 4 people that were the go-to guys. You had a question, you go talk to this person. And it became apparent quite quickly why the reasoning behind why when you go and you look at some piece of machinery, some piece of hardware, a computer or a toy or a car or anything, really, anything. If it comes out of a shop and it's of very high quality, it's of a quality far greater than the price would belie. You guys don't need to see all the floor. We're going to tilt you up so we can get face cam. We're going to grab that guy. Of course, we're blown out again. Obviously. Anyway, if you have some piece of machinery that its cost does not belie its quality, so annoying. But it's annoying for you guys too. Generally, the reason why that thing was of such a high quality, yes, obviously, that is precisely exactly the exact thing I precisely wanted you to do. The reason why you get those items of that quality in the first place is because there was a person there, a guy, a chick, a dude, a dudette. There was a pimple on an old guy's butt that was working there at some point. You know. And that one person made it their job to stop everything else that was happening. Jesus. Made it their point. Either they were an engineer, they were a technician, they were in R&D, they were whoever they were. They made it their job, their purpose, to put a halt on things and say, hey, wait a minute, this isn't good enough, we need to make it better. Or perhaps they know how to do it correctly in the first place, right? So they designed it right the first time, instead of designing it wrong and then customer complaints and now we have to redesign this thing, blah blah blah. Which I just had another thought that if I remember I'll get into here in a second. But you have this guy, they're like, we need to do this correctly. And the managers, of course, the people that are in there, generally what happens, it appears, my experience, is management will come down, say, hey, we're not doing enough of X. We need X to happen faster. And these people will say, well, we can't do X faster because quality will suffer. And of course, management says, we don't care. We need to make more money. Not grasping the economics of the entire situation at all. Which is funny because they're managers. Literally their job is to economize on situations. That is a manager's purpose. Economize people and situations. That's your job, man. But the Dunning-Kruger effect tells us that those people that are managers were probably good or great, whatever, below them, but now they're terrible at managing. So they kowtow to the accountants, to the penny pinchers, to whomever, when they come down from upstairs and they say, hey, we need to make this work better. And their response, instead of thinking about it and how can we make this more efficient, their conclusion, their reasoning is, we just need to be faster. Not understanding at all that fast is not cheap and cheap is not fast. Okay? Honda Civic, they were cheap. They're not fast. 20,000 horse drag cars. Quite fast, not cheap. So what you get is those people that know how to do it right get irritated, they get pissed off, they get disillusioned, right? They're like, oh, this job was great 10 years ago when I could actually do my job correctly. And you get that job satisfaction. When you get job satisfaction, people who are satisfied with their job are more likely to stick around than people who are not, okay? Regardless of pay. Regardless of pay. People who are satisfied with the job that they are doing, or the way that they do their jobs, or the way they're allowed or told or whatever to complete their job, those people will stick around longer than the people that are unhappy doing the work that they're doing. Right? I loved the job in Vegas when I was working on, military equipment. Loved the job. Okay? Despised the schedule. Absolutely despised the schedule. It was weekend nights, weekend days, weekend nights, weekend days, weekend nights, weekend days. Never the same schedule 2 weeks in a row. Never the same schedule between 2 night weeks or 2 day weeks. And when I went there, I specifically asked, before I accepted the job, I specifically asked exactly that question. What is the schedule like? And what do off days look like? And I was told, specifically, we work Monday to Thursday, 05 to 15:30. That's what we do. Rarely, we'll do a Friday. We'll do a 5-day week. But that's overtime, time and a half, obviously. I was told that Saturdays were like once a year and that they had never seen a Sunday. All a lie. All of it. Because I get out there on range and the schedule's all wishy-washy, screwy, messed up. And I asked the guys that have been there 30 years. And they're like, no, this is always the way it's been. This is exactly what we've always done. This is nothing new. Well, obviously, the guy that told me the schedule lied to me. And it makes sense why he would do that. Because they can't keep people out there because they don't tell them the truth. And the way the contract works is if they don't have some minimum number of people to cover the whole area, the region, or I don't know what the minimum requirements are, but there's a minimum number of people that have to be available. If they don't meet that, they'll lose the contract. It'll go to the next guy. So they keep doing this crap where got package? Package? No package? Nah. Package? Hey, Folkerinos, guess what we got today? All right. We're gonna go put these inside real quick, and then we'll do an unboxing. I thought she said she didn't have any packages, and I was really sad. Okay. Cleaning will have to wait. We have got us a package. So I don't know what it is. There's some effect. So my lady friend and I, my lady friend that I call my late wife, even though we never signed up for your government to tell us that we were married. We both had a thing for opening packages, like opening unknowns, right? If you got something in the mail and it didn't clearly state what it was on the outside of the package, which these days you don't want to do that anyway, because people will target specific things, right? So we both had a thing for opening packages, and so we made a deal, okay? And we kept. We We didn't write it down, so we didn't really keep a tally per se. But we kept, you know, we kept it in our heads. We're like, okay, well, last time, you know, it was this. Last time it was that, and we would alternate opening packages. So I got to the point at one point where I was doing something. I don't remember what I was doing. But I was doing something, and I was ordering a bunch of just $3 items, just tons of small dollar, you know, low dollar items. And so every time they'd come in, we'd have 5 or 6 of them just laying around. And so we could just both sit down on the bed, tear the packages open like animals, and just, yes! Get that neurochemical boost. Makes you feel all happy. But, oh, the picture did not show it coming with the power adapter, but apparently it comes with the power adapter. Okay. This is the thing I have been waiting for. I have been waiting for this, and it is a cable. It is an active USB extension cable. And the power goes in the middle? Or the end? There's no instruction manual with this damn thing. I don't know if the power goes in the middle or the end. I don't know if it matters, actually. Because these are probably boosters, they're repeaters. They're amplifiers, is all they are. Data signal amplifiers, low noise amplifiers. So, you got 2 LNAs on the cable. Probably right at the extreme of where signal degradation begins to occur. Right at that threshold of, this is probably noise, not signal. That threshold. But what this means, fiddly folkerinos, is I can drag cables out with me. Cables aren't an issue. I don't want the laptop sitting out there on the sun. I don't want the laptop sitting out there on an engine in a car. Getting the bottom plastics all melted into form, overheating the seedly CPU or the jiddly GPU. You know, don't want none of that. Cables, not an issue. I will take cables. I'm going to start by unraveling this guy. What the heck? This makes me quite happy. What we're going to do, we're not going to use it. I don't know. I have a feeling I'm going to need the power to be in the middle. But I'm going to try it first without the power. And second, with the power at the end of the cable. I don't think it'll matter. I think they put that in there just for giving you a little bit of an option where you kind of wanted to boost the signal from. But it could also be, because USB 3, damn it. USB 3 is a high power handling capable system, which tells me that if I'm using a power USB port, which this laptop has, I should be able to run this without the power adapter, because the laptop and the motherboard should theoretically be able to handle supplying power to this cable correctly for the amplifiers to work. And the power line is just the USB 3 power line. The 5-volt power. Actually, I think USB 3 is another pair. 12-volt line? I gotta look up the specification. I don't remember. But there's a high current line, or a high power line. For USB, there's a high power line. I'm hoping that... and I might need to get another one of these. But it wasn't necessarily cheap. I wouldn't call it... It's what I expect it to cost. I'd expect a cable like this to cost what it costs. It's like 80 bucks. Claiming that it wasn't cheap is sort of unfair. Whoa! Look at that Logitech all blown out. Like, wow. Sun came out in force, didn't it? Jeez. Screw you, Ball of Fusion. It screw me first, didn't it? Okay, so I'm going to unplug the Logitech. Turn them off first. Disables it. Does it disable it? Deactivate when not showing. Supposed to deactivate. Whatever. Disconnect the USB 2 extension cable, which I can use for other stuff now. I can actually add it to the Canon, and I can move the Canon another 1.5 meters or so. For right now, we're just going to set them to the side. But I'm going to plug in the PC side of the USB cable first. I'm going to see if this thing claims it has power. Power is red. I don't know if that means it is powered, like is the LED just red, or is it a multicolor LED? And red means that it is not powered. So I'm going to plug the power into the end, and we'll see if the color changes real quick. It does say that there is data. That's good. So plug the power adapter in for just a moment. I'm not going to do data test on it with the power. I want to do data test without power. Stupid. Let's put things on the keyboard so you can't use the keyboard because they're in the way of the keyboard. Okay. Yeah, the power LED is just red. It makes no never mind whether I have the power adapter plugged in or not. Which means I bet that means this is a backwards compatible amplifier cable, which would mean, because USB 3, I believe the specification is a shorter overall distance of data transmission through a cable than USB 2, which was a shorter distance than USB 1.1. So I bet this is a backwards compatible cable where the amplifiers are at the USB 3 maximum distance. And the specification gives you shielded and unshielded specification for data transmission, if I remember correctly. So it's like, I bet that's what it is, and it's designed such that you can plug it into a USB 1.1 port and supply external power to the cable, because USB 1.1 was the 5-volt. I think 1.0 was a lower power, and then 1.1 added the 500 milliamp capability. Maybe it was USB 2 that was 500 milliamp. I don't remember. But one of them increased the power, if I remember right. of the port and the specification for the specification. Which means that when plugged into a proper, full-powered USB 3 port on a motherboard of a machine, you actually get full power. I don't know if it'll show up in the camera or not, but yeah, you see those. There we go. You see those LEDs? They're both lit. The red one is the power. The blue one is data. It's a hard drive symbol, actually. The old school hard disk symbol, where it's just a cylinder with an arrow. You have thing and disk. All right, we're gonna pull the Logitech off the whiteboard real quick. We're gonna collapse all that. Plug the Logitech in. Bam. Light flashes, let me know detection was successful or detection was occurring. OBS just crashed. Oh, Canon's still working. Okay. We're not communicating to Logitech. That's what's happening. Okay. Do you want the power? Is that what you're complaining about? Oh. No power. Nothing. Oh, roll, Raggy. That's why Logitech was so crappy. Okay. Go to the device manager. Oh, I'm gonna be sitting down at the screen, so bring the chilly chair back over. Oh, the chilly chair. Okay, we're gonna see if imaging devices. Okay. If I disconnect the cable, it goes away. It is reading that the Logitech is there, but for whatever reason, it's not actually accessing it. That is interesting? Is that the right word? Interesting? Perhaps annoying. This device is working properly. Started. Disableable. NT enumerator. NT driver. Oh, no, 0. Has problem. False. There's no error code, so that should. Boot required? False. Power data. Current power state, D3. D3. Are the D states the higher the number, the more active it is, the more power it uses? And the lower the number, the lower the power usage overall? Is that how they work? I don't remember. Oh, yeah. Because S2 and S3 sleep. Okay, so D3, S5. Ow. This is powered. What if I disconnect cable? Yeah, it's not. What if there's not enough power to power the middle amplifier? Grab the cable. No. put it where I can roll over it with a freaking chair. Okay. This metal guy says he's powered, but give him a power adapter and see if anything changes. Okay. Off, turn him off. Turn him off, turn him off. Settings, devices. Apologies for not being riveting. I'm trying to figure out why. Do that. So we settings uninstalled the Logitech. Okay. What happens if we unplug? That power cord comes out for no reason whatsoever. That's not good. What's another USB device? Because it looks like power is working, but data does not appear. Why would you open audio? I don't care about it. Hey. Open sound. I don't care. This one device. Oh. Okay. Huh. Okay, so let's plug them straight back into the laptop. Raggy. Don't tell me this cord just fried my freaking camera. That would be incredibly disappointing. Incredibly disappointing. Kind of looks like the cable just fried my camera. Now it won't turn on directly connected to the PC. That's lovely. Turn you guys around. Because there's supposed to be a blue light on the front of that guy. No blue light. It's being detected though. Like I don't know what. Is there? We'll go look for like Logitech software. See if we can't pull it up via Logitech software. which I might actually already have. Hold on. Logitech camera settings. Huh. Okay, so it's not the camera. The camera's fine. Alright, so let me disconnect the camera. Cable. Plug in the camera. I wonder if the address changed and now OBS can't find the camera. Come on. Well, you know, you can't detect the camera if you don't connect the cable to the laptop. I think that would be a duh. Come on. Move the thing. Okay. No. Go away. Huh. What? This whole time you've had a different lens option. No lens? The sensor doesn't appear to move. There's no physical lens movement. I guess it's just an auto crop. Advanced. Autofocus. You normally turn off. Because it doesn't work all that well. Color intensity. Saturation. Just makes it blue. Ah yes, black and white. Sure. Okay, so it's an OBS problem. We're going to have to delete the device. Probably have to delete the device. So, let's make a new one. Video capture. Logitech A2. Okay. Which is not called Logitech. It's called USB 2 HD webcam. It kind of explains that. So why, then, why is OBS calling it something different? Device Manager sees Logitech C290. Ah! Okay. Close that properties, keep the other one open. Okay. So we'll have to have both of them in there, I guess, because I decided to disconnect the Logitech from the USB 3 extension cable and plug in, say, the Canon or something else even. Yeah, it'll be different. So here we go. Test. Unplug. Power. I think it's still working. Shame like it's still working. That's good. That means the USB 3 super speed port, proper full power USB 3 port, is working correctly. So now what I want to do is I want to I want to untangle the cable from the tripod and the cannon. So, wait, what? That's not. Huh? Okay, that's not the Logitech. I thought that was Logitech looking at me. Come on. Go. Today would be nice. Thank you. I can tell it. What the heck? Okay, so I was happy for nothing. Yeah, that's frozen there. That's fine. What? No? What the heck? Aww. That's not supposed to be like that. Well, that one's not right. Huh. There's that guy, so I can just see what he is. This is weird. If I close OBS, it'll kill the stream. Unless I start the stream up on the PC. There's nobody in here right now. So why don't I kill OBS? Anybody that may or may not drop in, we might have a few different streams popping up. Because I'm gonna be doing some debug. Trying to figure out if I can get this USB extension cable working. Why are you so... Oh, crap, spackle. Okay. So, there's 2 watching now. Who the heck else is watching? Somebody else is watching. Moonbow. Moonbow's on. Oh, I'm in the wrong account. He's not gonna know who I am. Yeah, I'm doing some debug, so we're gonna kill the stream. I'll start up another one here in just as soon as I can figure out what the heck's going on. But we're not really doing much of anything today anyway, so not that it really matters. So we're gonna kill the stream, and I'll get back in as soon as as soon as we get this figured out. If I get it figured out. If I don't, I might end up having to return the cable, I guess. I don't know. I guess I could try. I'm trying to think of something else USB that I could try. But I'm pretty sure it's OBS. So, kill the stream. I'll be back in a minute.